Hey, what's up everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Empire Season 5 Episode 3, and the name of this episode is Pride. So let me begin with this review. The episode opens up with Hakeem. Hakeem is reliving the event as to when Blake's father shot him. He wakes up out of this nightmare, only to be called downstairs by Cookie. Cookie, you know, and Jamal is there too. And Cookie's letting them know that, look, and we also see in this scene too that that Kingsley literally, you know, has put it out there that the lines are broke. I mean, one, they admitted it, but you know, Kingsley is really pushing it out there to the media. So, you know, but Cookie's like, we ain't even worried about that because Lucius right now is looking at some property that we're going to use for our headquarters, and he's also going to be meeting up with some investors. So we're good. Everything is fine. And then finally Lucius comes in and she asks us about where's Andre. We come to find out from the last episode too that Andre's in the hole. But then so Lucius lets them know that, look, Andre's not coming home right now, but we're about to establish a new empire called Lions Family Management, and we're about to take the game over. So we get a glimpse into Andre's time at the prison. We come to find out that even from the beginning, him and the inmate that's been giving him problems, they were beefing from the first day that he arrived. And not only that, he also has established a relationship with the little boy Quincy, the one that the inmate keeps bothering and beating up and all that shit. You know, the young guy Quincy. We come to find out that he's been in touch with Quincy the whole time too. Because when we first so when we get a flashback, we see that old boy sends his dudes over to mess with Andre. Andre beats up his boys, and he kind of lets them know that, look, you stay out of my way. He like, first of all, I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm not to be fucked with. So either you keep your distance, or there'll be hell to pay. And pretty much, you know, the guy agreed because, you know, he seen that Andre ain't no punk. You know, because he tried Andre because, you know, Andre's a rich kid, you know, coming from this well-established family. And, of course, he gonna try Andre because he thought Andre was a punk. But little does he know, Andre is a lot like his father. He definitely has that ruthless streak. So, so we see, after that, we see that the inmate starts punking, you know, Quincy. You know, knocking books out of his hand and everything. And the book he knocked out of the boy's hand was Wealth of Nations. So he already connected with old boy right there that, one, this boy's smart and he's intelligent, and yet he's in this den full of monsters. So we see later on he does have a conversation with Quincy, and Quincy lets him know that, look, I haven't done anything wrong. What happened was that this old white woman was robbed, and they picked him up saying that he fit the description, you know that bullshit. He fit the description of the person that the lady that he fit the description of the perpetrator. So here it is, he in jail for 5 years for a crime he didn't commit. And then he even said that he missed his high school graduation, and he was actually going to go to the same business school that Andre went to. So we see there's a real kinship that is developed between the two of them, and he's also giving Quincy books to read. So he's really establishing a real relationship with with Quincy. And we even see later on in the episode, Quincy gets a visit from his mother, and his mother at first was very nasty to Andre because she was saying, don't trust none of these men up in here, don't talk to nobody, you know, and I feel so bad that I can't protect you. And Andre went to go, he had saw that Quincy had a black eye because the inmate dude has just been bullying him, you know, every chance he gets. And it just shows you right there that that dude is a straight up bitch. And Andre had a soda, and he was going to give Quincy the soda to put over his eye to get the swelling down. But the mother was like, oh no, we're good. We're good. Thank you, but we're good. You know. So we later on see, because I'm going to just tie up Andre all together. Andre later on, he gets a visit from Lucius. And he sits down with Lucius and he lets Lucius know, you know, when I was out there in the world, I had business smarts. But I like being in here because in here I'm developing street smarts. And with street smarts combined with business smarts, I will be unstoppable. And anybody that crosses me, it will be total annihilation. And I'm like, oh shit, this motherfucker's about to do some crazy shit. And later on we see that, because while he's in the hole, he's been getting visits from a lot of different people. Like, everybody keeps, you know, pulling down the, you know, going through the slot to try to talk to him. So one of the guys goes up to him saying like, yo, you ready to do this shit, bruh? And he's like, yeah, make it happen and give me proof. So we come to find out that now he got his boy in the hole. He ain't got nobody to protect him. So Andre pretty much has organized all the prisoners, and we see that they're in the concession room. He's still punking Quincy and shit, and he's like, oh, what the hell you looking at? Oh, I'll give you something to look at. And he's about to go after Quincy, and then all of these inmates surrounded him. They all had shanks, and they shanked the shit out of old boy. And the guard let it happen. The guard was like, because a whole lot of people didn't like his ass, so he got taken the fuck out. And literally got stabbed up, and Quincy saw the whole damn thing. So he literally saw his bully get taken down right before his eyes. So Quincy immediately knew that Andre was behind this shit. So all of a sudden, after the thing was done, they ripped his cross off, and they show it to Andre. The guy, you know, goes to the hole and shows it to Andre, and Andre says, because he was like, you want to keep the you know, you know, the token. And he was like, nah, give it to one of his apostles. So then they went to the hole and dropped it off in old boy's cell, and he flipped the fuck out. He was going off, and I'm like, Andre, you crazy motherfucker. But in this moment, I was so here for it, because I was happy that he took old boy out, because Quincy, for one, doesn't deserve to be in there, and he definitely doesn't deserve the brutal treatment that old boy was giving him. As I said, old boy was a straight up bitch, because you know that this boy is small and that he can't fight, and he doesn't have the muscle to fight you, but yet you just constantly bully him and intimidate him and beat on him for no reason. And as a matter of fact, that was the little boy that was in he was actually on Luke Cage. And he was in both seasons. He was the little boy that he protected when old boy shot up the barbershop. So yeah. So it was good that he, you know, he has a role here on Empire too. So yeah, shout out to him. But yeah, that was pretty much what happened with Andre, and I was like, yo, Andre is going to be unstoppable once he gets out of jail. So we definitely see that going on. Next I'm going to talk about is Jamal. Now Jamal, you know, is having some issues with his boyfriend Kai, because we saw from the last episode, Kai's ex-boyfriend, who named Bryson, who's also a fellow reporter, pretty much told him that, you know, there's this big story that Kai should get in front of, you know, because, you know, we live for the adventure and we live to be on the edge. And he was even, because we even saw from the last episode, Bryson was kind of coming for Jamal, saying that, yeah, you used to be a guy on the edge until Jamal domesticated you, you know, throwing shade. So Jamal is upset because he sees that, so pretty much Kai gets a call, and, you know, from Bryson, and he wants him to go to Paris, and then from there he's going to go to Afghanistan. So, you know, immediately Jamal is taken aback, and he was like, I thought that at first you were just going to get a home desk job, but it seemed to me you are excited that you're leaving me, like, because he's going to Paris. And then we see while he's in Paris, they do a video chat, and he was like, man, I missed you, I wish you were here with me. And then, you know, Kai was like, well, you can come to London if you really want to be with me, I mean, it's your choice. And Jamal was like, oh, so this is what this is? Because I chose to stay back to help my family, and I'm not doing what you want to do, now you're going to play this game, you know, where, oh, I'm going to leave because you're not doing things my way. And then Kai was like, look, bruh, you know, you the one who decided to walk away from your life. It doesn't mean I got to walk away from mine. So then he kind of shuts it off, but I still don't trust Kai though, because I think there's an angle that Kai is working. Because next thing you know, the next time he video chats him, he has these little boys, you know, who pretty much are Parisian little boys who are from Africa, and they actually are singing "You So Beautiful." So that definitely, you know, touched Jamal's heart, because he was, I mean, of course he was happy to see that these little boys, you know, knew his song, and it just goes to show that, you know, Jamal is a global sensation. And, you know, he was like, okay, he's like, thank you, I love you. And he was just really touched by that. And then Kai was like, so does that mean I'm back in the good with you? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, I don't know, you need to watch this, nigga, because I'm seriously thinking that Kai definitely is still messing around with the ex-boyfriend. And then again, it's like, also, how do we know that Kai is not somebody that's there to... How do we know that Kai is not somebody there... sorry about that, y'all. How do we know that Kai is not there to, you know, to set Jamal up in some way? So I think in time we're gonna find that out, but we just need to keep our eyes open with that. Now, next I'm gonna talk about is, you know, Kingsley's ass, because Kingsley is really coming for the Lions, and he's coming for them in more ways than one, because we see that that both Hakeem and Jamal want to, you know, get out of their contracts and actually go sign with their father's company, which makes sense. You know, it's about family. So they go to talk to Kingsley. Kingsley starts talking all this big shit and was like, well, it seems to me that you guys are in dire straits because one of y'all's in jail. The other one here thinks that he got a lot of power, but he doesn't. Then the other one is just useless. Talking about Hakeem, and Hakeem was ready to jump up, and then Hakeem did the dumbest thing. You know, because when you are making moves, you don't let your enemy know what you're doing. He was like, oh yeah, my dad's about to take over the game, and he down the street right now working on a deal and everything, and you ain't gonna be able to stop us because we Lions and we roar and all of that. And I'm like, Hakeem, you doing the dumb shit that a lot of people do. You never tell people your moves. So and then he tells Jamal that because Jamal lets him know that, look, all I owe you is an album and I can get out of my contract. He's like, yeah, but the album got to have new material, and as a matter of fact, you'll do it the way I say you're going to do it because I own all your music. I own everything, and I own you. And I'm like, oh, Kingsley really feeling his ass. He is really feeling it, and it just goes to show you pride, because he's very prideful and very full of himself, and he does a lot this episode. But we see that after that happened, we get a scene with Lucius. Lucius is meeting with these investors, people that he worked with for over the years, and they're in this, you know, big office space that they want to give for the Lions, for Lions management. Tell me why the hell these assholes decide that we're not gonna risk, you're a risk right now, so we don't know about investing in you and all of that. And besides, you know, you have a criminal record, and, you know, this is not gonna look good for us. And Lucius flipped it and was like, but dude, you just got off of, you know, house arrest for tax fraud. So it's okay for the white man to clean himself up and everything's fine, but when a black man does wrong, he got to stay in his lane and he doesn't get any second chances. I was like, he called out the corporate racism right then and there, and he says that, look, either you want to invest in me or you don't. And he's like, we don't, Lucius. And they all walked out, and I was like, see, that's some bullshit. And then he comes to find out that the reason why they rejected him is because Kingsley had got to their asses, and Kingsley also bought that office building and said that, oh yes, I'm going to use that office building so we can need more recording space for the artists. As a matter of fact, Jamal can record there so he can get that album that he owes me. And he's going, him and Lucius going back and forth, and this fool got bodyguards because because it's obvious Kingsley is scared of Lucius. But then again, he's playing chess. Like he pretty much said that, look, I took the information that was given to me and I just came after you. This wasn't a personal vendetta. This was business. You actually think I'm going to let you come up and blow up my spot and let you be successful and build your own company? I'm going to try to knock you down every chance I get. Well, Lucius lets his ass know, bruh, even the strongest and more competent men than you have tried to come for me and they have all failed. And he says that you might think that this is like some schoolyard scruffle or something, but nah, this is a matter of life and death. And think about it. What you're doing right now may lead you to meet your maker. I was like, Lucius, you better do that shit. And then he went to the guards like, put your hands on me again. I was like, ha! Like, Lucius had me with that because a whole bunch was going on, you know, because Kingsley wants to control them, and he wants to use the family name. He wants to use the Lions because he knows the Lions is where the talent is. He knows they're the glue as to what built that company in the first place. So, but instead of him actually going about things an honest way, he's trying to take them down, but yet still trying to use them to make money as well. You know, just goes to show you how much of a disgusting piece of shit Kingsley is. So then we actually back at the house, Cookie has brought in her sisters Candace and Carol, you know, and also Portia is there, and she's talking about plans of how they're going to build this new company and how it's going to be about family. It's going to be a totally different type of company, and of course, you know, Candace is like, so you want us to work for you for free? What we gonna get out of this? I mean, do we get titles? And she was like, yeah, you'll get a title. And then, like, you know, Portia's like, well, I'm not even family, so why should I work for free? She says that, Portia, you're the best at what you do, and besides, what do you want? And she says, I want to be the head of A&R. She's like, okay, I can make that happen. And then Carol was like, oh, well, people getting titles, what's my title? And she was like, oh yeah, I got a title for you. Your title is a redeemed crack hoe. I was like, Cookie, you wrong as shit. But then we later find out that Cookie actually has a piece of property, you know, up in Soho. It's a loft that she bought. And the reason why she bought it was because she thought that Lucius was going to run off with Juliana and cut her out of everything. So when that happened, she made a move, and she has this loft, and the only person that knows about it was Candace. And Candace said, you told me that if, you know, you ever wanted to sell that loft, you told me to shut you down, and that's exactly what I'm doing. But then Cookie's like, you know what? We really need the money right now, and right now things is hot. Things are kind of crazy right now, so put it on the market and sell the damn thing, you know, so we can get this company up and running. So then we see after Lucius got rejected, and after he dealt with Kingsley's sorry ass, he goes to meet up with Thurston. Now, it's been a, you know, because we definitely know this is like 2 years, you know, later after season 4. So it's been over a year. Him and Thurston have not seen each other, but Thurston has his own practice and he's doing his thing. But he pretty much lets him know. He goes to see Thurston and tells Thurston, I want you to be back my number one. You know, I got this new business venture and I want you on my team. And Thurston was like, you got a lot of nerve coming up in here and asking me to work for you after you haven't talked to me in a whole year. Ain't even called to say hello. Is it me you're looking for? You ain't did none of that shit and you want me to come work for you? But he was like, look, this is going to be a great opportunity. But then he also said that he needs, you know, some of his, you know, investors, you know, because Thurston knows a lot of high-powered people. So he says that, look, I'm going to create this event and I want you to help me to get some of your prestigious clients to come in and, you know, and be possible investors in Lions Management. So then also we saw in this episode too that Hakeem and Jamal collaborate because Hakeem, as I said earlier, has been getting song ideas from the event of him being shot, and he's writing some really good stuff, but because of his breathing, he's not able to really deliver the lines like he's used to. So he gets discouraged and gets pissed off because like the one thing he loves and knows how to do, he's not able to do it the same way. But Jamal kind of coaches him. He's like, look, you can do this, but what I'm gonna do is that you just can't, do these long phrases like you used to do. You need to kind of do it in breaks, and therefore you won't cough and you won't be losing air, and you'll still be able to deliver the line and everything will be good. So Jamal's working on this song and wants Hakeem to be on the hook. And it's sure enough, Jamal's right, because Jamal's the music man. He's the music genius of the family. So he was able to fix the situation with Hakeem, and Hakeem was on and popping with it. Then we see that Hakeem meets up with Blake, and he gives Blake one of his songs, which was a very personal song, but he said that because the way the song is written, I can't rap it due to my breathing, so I'm going to give it to you, and, I want you to put magic in it because you was there, you know what really happened, and you can relate to it. So, we also see that Blake has also been babysitting Prince, Hakeem and Tiana's son. So we see that he's at the park, babysitting the baby, and he's also working through these lyrics or whatever. Tiana walks up with Bella, and she notices that, wow, this song sounds pretty nice. And he was like, yeah, I'm just working on this new music or whatever. And he was saying that, and she was like, wow, is it about the shooting? She's like, man, I relive it in my brain every single day, but I'm so glad that you have decided to put this in words, and maybe Hakeem needs to do the same thing, not knowing those are Hakeem's words and Blake is just rapping them. But then I kind of started to see that things started to shift, because all of a sudden Tiana's like, I'd like to invite you over for dinner. I thank you, for looking after baby Prince for me, and I want to, invite you for dinner, but, I don't cook and all of that. He was like, well, hey, I like to throw down a little bit, let's see what's good with that. And I'm like, Blake, I'm letting you know, bro, you go down this road, you gonna probably be the next damn dead body. Because, bruh, he not only got shot by your father and is struggling because of what your father did, but then you now gonna try to mac to his girl? After he gave you a personal song that he wrote, gave it to you because he saw you as a brother. Now, if you cross that line with Tiana, there is no redemption for your ass, Blake. So, we just got to keep watching and see what's going to happen with that. So then, we see later on that, so pretty much, Cookie gets word that, they didn't get that actual office space, and that Kingsley has had came in and he had came in and took the deal from Lucius. So Cookie is like, damn, now where are we gonna have the event at? Because here it is, we're trying to launch this company, and Thurston, but he said that Thurston got some investors, we can make this happen. So they decide to have the event at the house. And Lucius has been reaching out to everybody. He's been reaching out to Becky too, because he's saying that, look, we're going to get everybody back, and, I'm going to reestablish my empire, and everything's going to be good. And the Cookie's like, you mean our empire? Because again, it's like Lucius is saying it's me, and then it's the family. But he's not still... Cookie's having issues because he's still not seeing her as an equal. So they have this event or whatever, and they want Hakeem and Jamal to perform at this event, because they're going to be the launching talent for this new label. So they actually have their party at the house. Thurston brings all of his investors in there. There's a few of them in there, and Thurston's pointing them out who's who. And then there's this one woman who's there who's like eating up all the shrimp or whatever. And Cookie's like, well, damn, like, can she shave some shrimp for anybody else? Shit, this shit's expensive, and she just eating up every damn thing. So here it is, They bring everybody into the to one of the main rooms of the house. Lucius about to do his presentation, and then old girl had the nerve to be like, you mean to tell me that this whole little management thing is inside this house? Really? Please, I ain't got time for this. I was about to walk out, and then Cookie was like, slow your roll, Wheezy Jefferson. I just saw your ass devour a whole bunch of shit. You better sit your big leg ass down with your bullshit, and you gonna listen to what Lucius has to say. And save some strength for somebody else with your greedy ass. I was cracking up. I'm like, Lucius, I'm like, Cookie, you better call our ass out. Just like niggas come and eat up your shit and then they want to go home. When it's come time for them to do something, they want to run. I mean, being an entrepreneur, I've dealt with this psychosis a lot. So Cookie just went in on her ass. And we see that Jamal and Hakeem do the song, and he wants Hakeem to lead it. And of course Cookie's like, are you sure about this? But he's like, nah, he got it, because Jamal figured it out. And they killed the performance. And you know, the lady was like, she's like, Wheezy, did you like that? And she's like, oh, I love it, yes. So pretty much every investor is like, yeah. So now he got investors, and now they can start building their company. And they decided to build the company in the house. That, you know, this is about family, and where is family best at? Home. So we gonna make this a home family venture. But we see afterwards, you know, he has a conversation with Becky. Becky's like, you know, because Becky came, and he was like, well, Becky, I'm so happy that you're here. And she was like, well, why wouldn't I be? You done called me over 100 damn times. But Becky enjoyed the performance and everything. And then afterwards, she was like, afterwards she had told Lucius, like, look, I have to commend you. You know, you're doing a great thing here, and I wish you all the best. And he was like, well, hey, when you gonna come back to work for me? She was like, you want me to come and quit my job? Like, she says that Kingsley's about to promote me. You know, I'm not quitting my job. And he's like, oh, so you gonna work with my enemy? I made you. I gave you everything you have, and this is how you gonna do me? You know, you ain't gonna be loyal. And Becky had that school his ass. She was like, yeah, you gave me an opportunity, but yet you wanted, you gave me an opportunity as an assistant, but yet when it came down to me being promoted, you always overlooked me, you always sat me down, and you never let me grow. Because every promotion I've got was not because of you or Cookie. I got that because other people saw things in me that you didn't want to see. So I'm staying where I'm at, and I'm not leaving. And Cookie overheard this shit because she's starting to see that Lucius still has this ego, this I thing, like this narcissism complex. So eventually he told Becky that, look, it's about loyalty, and if you can't understand that, you need to get the hell out of my house. And she was like, gladly, and walked off. But then we see that, you know, Cookie was trying to, you know, put that property on sale so she can get the money to help fund this company. She decided, oh no, just tell him to hold on it. I'm not selling the property. You know, it's a no-go. Because Cookie is starting to be like, I'm not going to no longer invest in this just so Lucius can say it's all him and I'm just there. Like, no, I'm just as much of an important factor to this as he is. So Cookie's starting to wake up. Cookie's making moves of her own, you know, and it's interesting to see how this all gonna play out. So then, let's see. So then we actually see that, you know, the new song that he worked on with Hakeem, Jamal takes this, you know, he takes this, you know, this music to Kingsley. Kingsley loves it and everything, but then Jamal pretty much let him know, well, yeah, you got that, and I got a few other songs that are just like that one that I'm gonna put on this new album, and therefore you'll get your album. But while you're at that, you need to talk to the accountant because you need to start, you know, spitting out them royalty checks, because the Lions family is on every single track of this album, and they are on every single track of my previous work too. So you need to start kicking out them royalty checks, because at the end of the day, you know, And then he also schooled him too. He's like, yeah, little do you know, there's a clause in my contract that I have complete ownership and creative control of all of my music. So because of that, I own my music. So, but yeah, I'm under contract. So I'm giving you this album, and you need to start sending those royalty checks to my family because it's long overdue. So then after that, this punk ass decides to say, get me in touch with someone from the correction facility. I'm thinking he's going to go after Andre. And when we thought Andre had a visitor, he did, but it wasn't Kingsley. It was Quincy's mother. And Quincy's mother told him that, I thank you for what you did for my son, and I'm glad that that son of a bitch is in the ground. You know, that nobody will hurt him again. And we see that she's like, you're a really nice man. And we start to see she's holding Andre's hand and all that. I was like, ooh, I'm like, okay. She definitely got the hots for Andre. So we're going to see how that's going to happen. You know, he may end up being Quincy's stepdaddy. But we just got to see. So here it is. We thought it was Kingsley that was there to see Andre. We come to find out that dirty son of a bitch went to go see that damn Miss Diana Dubois' crazy ass. She ain't all glam like she was before. She got the hair slicked back. It look like she's been doing time just like Bill Cosby. And I'm like, damn. You know, and she's like, and he starts paying her compliments. She's like, your ass wants something. So what do you want and how can I help you? And that's where it ended. And I'm like, oh, Kingsley, yes. Kingsley needs to go. Kingsley needs to die because we know all the shit that Diana Dubois did in season 4. You know, she did so much shit, and for them to take her down and for Kingsley to go and use her to try to get back at the Lions, yo, Kingsley, you are about to meet your maker, and I can't wait to see what happens next. So that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you about it. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social networks. I have them all listed in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I'll be back with the next episode of Empire. So until next time, everybody, take care.